Fire management is the only skill that you really need to master when you want to cook a brisket. I believe fire management is the #1 skill that we need to learn in barbecue. And that is why last year I put out my fire management book. That book is going to be linked down below. It is available on Amazon, 3 different formats: paperback, hardcover, and the Kindle version. It is very important for us to understand how our fire is working, how our grill is working, so that we can understand different meats, right? A lot of us put the cart before the horse. Maybe we want to know the rub. We want to know, the best methods. We want to know everything, but you need to know how to run your fire. If you're not running your fire right, it doesn't matter how much you spritz, doesn't matter what binder you use, doesn't matter the rub that you use. That could make or break your brisket. So today we have about a 13-pound brisket after trimming. It's been in the refrigerator, dry brining with salt, pepper, and garlic. And we're going to show you guys how we run the smoker. We're cooking on the Weber Summit Kamado today. The principles are still the same. How we control the fire on this grill is going to be different from others because every grill operates differently. But the principle is the same. A small fire, letting it just run low and slow, not opening the grill all the time. These are some of the things that we focus on when we are barbecuing. So let's get into this cook. If you're not subscribed to the page, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that follow button on all socials. Everything is linked down below. And I do have full brisket article up on my website, linked in the description, that you guys can go check out. So this brisket was seasoned for dry brining with my homemade salt, pepper, onion, and garlic rub. I'm going to put those quantities or the ratios in the description so that you guys can go ahead and try to make this rub yourself. I do like my rub very coarse. We actually have some whole and just half crushed peppercorns. I don't deliberately put the whole peppercorns on there, but the rub is made of both. It is my all-purpose rub, so I use it in soups, stews, everything around the house, my veggies. So that fresh pepper is really, really important to me. But if you guys notice, most of the salt is gone off the top of the brisket. Okay, this is the meat side. Most of the salt is gone. That's because that meat has now pulled all that moisture in with the salt, and now that's how you get a deeper salt flavor. I do have a dry brine article up on my website that you guys can go check out. But wherever you see salt, that's where there's fat. All right, so fat does not absorb salt. You can see, like right there on the decal, there's a lot of salt right there. And yeah, so we're gonna get this into the smoker because we are sitting where we want. So between 225 and 250, that's where we want to run our brisket. Now, it is important for you to understand your smoker. Today, I'm going to just show you a few things of how I do this. And the very first thing is, people always ask, how do you know that your thermometer is accurate? Well, most onboard thermometers on your grills are inaccurate, but once you learn what is that inaccuracy, then just always treat it with that inaccuracy. This is about 25 degrees, 20 to 25 degrees higher. So actually we're about 225. By the time we add the meat in, it's going to take some of that away. So it'll be about 210 running. This allows me to not need to constantly keep a thermometer in the meat to monitor it and just kind of let the grill do its thing. If you have the thermometer, you feel like you need to do it, go ahead and do it. This is just saying you don't have to. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how I run a brisket by feel and not trying to go by temperature. So you guys can see right here that our brisket is on right now, but remember where our fire started, right? My fire was started over in this direction, and this is why I'm putting the point towards the heat. That way, because this is the fattest or the thickest part of the meat, we know it can take more heat. It's also the most marbled. We're going to allow that heat to go across. So by the time I come back to check it, it should be about here, right? This is where the fire should be. And if the flat is looking good, we can either turn it or we can keep it the same. So we'll show you guys how we do that. But for now, we're just gonna let this sit in the smoker and do its thing. So right now, this part of the process took me about 45 minutes from stepping outside to getting the smoker lit, get the brisket on. We are now going to watch the smoker for about 30 minutes, make sure it's not fluctuating up and down too much. And then that way I know that, all right, it's doing good. I'm gonna go get some more rest and we'll come back and check on this thing in the morning. This is what is important about understanding fire management. You can accomplish set it and forget it methods with just learning how these things work, how your grill works, and is it right for your grill. All right, so the minion method is fully detailed in my book. As I said, that is going to be down in the description so you guys can go check it out. It's also up on my website. Just go ahead and click on the tab up on my website for the book and you'll get it. So this is where our temp is at before I go back to bed, and we will see what it's looking like when we return. Now remember guys, we are cooking over charcoal, so we are not coming back outside expecting the temperature to be the exact same spot that it was, but we do not want to see crazy spikes in our temperature. So we're looking for a 10 to 15, maybe 20 degree difference in temperatures while the meat cooks. The real part of the management is understanding how to keep your grill from making massive spikes during your cook to just little blips on the radar. That's what gives you the best tenderness, the best finish on your meat. Now we're gonna let this sit in the smoke. We took the brisket out of the refrigerator and put it straight into the smoker. Did not let it come up to room temperature. A cold brisket takes on more smoke. Stay tuned.
So it's been 4.5 hours since we have put the brisket on, and I did take a 3.5 hour nap. So let's check on it. So you guys see that my temperature had spiked just a little bit up to about 350. So we made some adjustments, closed the exhaust down way down, and now we are back to where we need to be. I also have my Inkbird thermometer inside, and like I told you guys before, we have a 20 to 25 degree difference in the ambient temp from the lid thermometer to if you have something on the grids. So we're looking real good.
So this is the fat side, and this has been down the entire time. Good rendering on it. Today I'm doing the foil boat. I'm not gonna wrap, and I've been using the foil boat for the last year or so, and this helps to give a really great bark. So the underside, that's going to be rendering and creating a bunch of the drippings that will scoop over the meat later on, but it will allow for this bark right here that's forming on the edges to kind of fully come in and cover the entire thing. It's about 188 degrees internal, so we don't have much longer to go. The bottom side is going to keep rendering, and we will have the top side finish off like we want. So now you want to have it set up like a little boat, or your brisket's going for a swim in some beef tallow, basically. And we're not adding anything to the boat. It's gonna create some juices, and it won't be long until this brisket's finished now.
Eleven and a half hours in, the smoker has really been hovering between 225 and about 275. So we know we did a really good job setting up that fire, and now the brisket is done. I already pulled out the other thermometer because it was misleading me, but now we don't care what the number on the thermometer is for the brisket. What we care about is the probe tender. Okay, that is what we care about. Probe tender, no resistance. This brisket is ready. We're gonna pull it off, and we're gonna show you how we wrap it up to rest. Oh my God. Oh my God. Woo. All right, so this top, we didn't baste it or anything with the fat, so we're just gonna put it down in there. And now we're just gonna use the foil, wrap it up tight, and we're gonna place this in my oven on keep warm. Right, that's the lowest setting your oven's gonna go on. And we're just gonna let this rest for about 2 or 3 hours. That's gonna be the perfect finish. boy. You see that bend? There we go. Yoo-hoo. Here we go. So the brisket has been resting for 3.5 hours on keep warm in the oven. We're ready to slice into it. Let's show you the bark. Looks really good. It was probe tender when we pulled it. Didn't check any temperature or anything. So let's just go and cut right here. And then, come on, baby. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she lovely? Now we're gonna cut this part off, and then this is where our burnt ends is gonna come from. We're not gonna sauce anything up and put it back on the smoker or nothing like that. That's just the ends that are burnt. And then as this has been resting for 3 hours on keep warm in the oven. Go across the grain. So if you pick up your flat and you do just kind of bend it just a little bit, you will see where the grains are running. You want to know you want to slice across those grains. So now when I'm slicing across the grain as well, I like to angle my blade just a little bit. These are not comp slices. This is just a guy in the backyard cooking some brisket and show you guys how he does it. Fell apart, baby. There we go. So this is what we got. Just the SPG, no spritz, no binder, straight up. You wanna give it a try? What you think? Never disappoints. So this is the end of the cook. Thank you guys so much for watching this entire video. Make sure you go check out all the links in the description. Thank y'all for the support, and we'll see you in the next video. Remember, if you got questions, ask them below. But if your question says that you didn't watch the video, then you probably won't get an answer. Thank y'all, man. Peace out.